Welcome to Jin-Gitaxias. As far as our opening hand goes, yeah, we'll keep on this one. I like it. We got, yeah, this is a beautiful opening hand. We have some card advantage in Time Twister. We've got some token producing in Tyrant. We've got a counter magic, disallow, and a beautiful, wonderful option to copy off of Jin-Gitaxias. We just need to get to that, get to some of that fast mana. So hopefully, well, if we go Time Twister, we'll miss out on Wormcoil Engine, but hey, we'll have fun either way. So let's go and lead off with Island. Let's go for Ponder. I like that. And then Ponder Alert. There's somebody hanging out in the background if you didn't know. It's always been there since, let's see, since Magic 12. A little spooky on that one. All right, so opponent's going to go for a Crag. Get down Breeding Pool. We're going to go Ponder. Let's see what's on top. So that is going to be Fabricate, Jace, and Shimmer Dragon, which we could Fabricate for Mana Crypt. And that'll set us up on Jace. That'll be pretty much, well, do we want that? Or do we want to try to hit into something? I think I'm actually okay with hitting into something else. Yeah, I think I'm okay. Yeah, we're going to shuffle our library. All right, so we run into Thought Vessel. Okay, actually like that a lot. So anything else, let's go and pass the turn over to our opponent. So we're playing Jin-Gitaxias, Progress Tyrant. Whenever you cast an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Then, whenever an opponent casts an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell, counter that spell. This ability triggers only once each turn. And then also, on our ability, it only triggers once each turn, too. So I skipped over that part because that'd be pretty gnarly. If it's just, hey, for the rest of the time, you get double. All right, so let's drop in Thought Vessel. So we get down Thought Vessel. We'll get Flooded Strand over here as our next lane drop. And then we will pass the turn. Playing gets Kadena. I'm pretty sure that's it. Let's double check. And actually, very excited to be playing against Kadena. Yeah, Kadena. The first face-down creature spell you cast each turn costs 3 less to cast. Then, whenever a face-down creature enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. I have not played this commander in a very long time, but it is a lot of fun. I enjoy it a lot. And Sultai Morph is just something that I never just would have thought about. I don't know. It's very good. All right, so our opponent did get down Mystic. So whenever opponent casts a non-creature spell, you may draw a card unless that player pays 4. So that is, yeah, let's just go and drop in Flooded Strand. And that is non-creature spell. So all right, so we can't actually drop in Tyrant. So let's do that. So let's go and crack Flooded Strand. Let's go and grab ourselves an island. Let's get Tyrant down. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that'll set us up to where if they want to keep paying the cumulative upkeep on Mystic, then we can certainly do that. Then anything else, let's pass the turn over to our opponent. But yeah, Sultai Morph, that's what makes Commander so fun to me, is that, if you play Commander, there's a lot of different decks that you enjoy playing and different things like that. But being able to, all right, opponent's going to let it go. So there we go. We got the Mystic taken away. But yeah, there's sometimes where you have a commander that's like, build me in a certain way in colors that you're normally not used to doing. And whenever I played Kadena, it's like, hey, this is a lot of fun. I enjoy it. So, but anyways, we got that out of the way. We'll cover, we'll do the ad spot here in just a second. All right, so we got the Morph token swinging in for 2. That's going to drop us down to 37. So we'll let that go on through. And Coast is clear with that Mystic. So I feel pretty good about this. And they are only stuck on 3 mana right now. So I will... We'll take it. Let's go and drop in Island. So that'll put us up to 5 total mana. Yeah, I think at this point, we could try to Thirst for Knowledge and maybe hit some fast mana if we wanted to. But we can pass the turn, and we have Disallow and Thirst for Knowledge up. So I'm actually really okay with this. So let's go and push in with Talrand. We're going to trade 2s on this one, drop them down to 37, and then pass the turn over to our opponent. We can go for Time Twister. And we will here in a little bit, but with them not making the land drops, we're going to try to let them try to sweat it out just a little bit before we go for Time Twister. Because if we end up going for Time Twister, I know that'll give them the lands that they need. So we did cover both commanders. Let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors, TCG Player. If you go to bit.ly/JoltMTG, that will apply my affiliate link. That'll allow you to get some cards and help support the channel at the same time. And I think we just end up going Disallow on this one. This is going to be 1, 2, 3. I like that. That could get a Drake token on the battlefield. So yeah, bit.ly/JoltMTG. Let's give a quick shout out to MTGOTraders. If you want to play Magic Online, they've got you covered, especially playing some Commander. And let's give a quick shout out to inkgaming.com/Jolt for 10% off of your order. And last but not least, I started a Patreon. So if you'd like to directly support cool content like this, there's a link down in the description below. But if you're keeping score at home, with their little baby samurai head. Is official. Oh, I forgot. We'll cover that in just a second. I did forget that. That's on me. I forgot that Jin-Gitaxias partners with little baby samurai head. Doesn't even know a word yet. That does happen. But anyway, it's free time, so let's have some fun. All right, so we got double drakes right now. Let's go and push in for 2 with our drake token. And we end up going for fabricate and fast mana. Because that puts us on Jin-Gitaxias. Yeah, I kind of like that. So let's go and push in with the drake token. That'll push them down to 35. And then we'll go for fabricate on mana crypt, which leaves us open on thirst for knowledge. I think I kind of like that. So yeah, let's go and drop in fabricate. We could save it for a bigger. Yeah, I like getting mana crypt down because that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That gives us just enough for Jin-Gitaxias for next turn. So I like that. So let's go fabricate on mana crypt. Let's get this popped out. Where are you, mana crypt? There we go. I guess technically we could go Soul Ring, and that would still keep us on thirst for knowledge. Yeah, actually that's going to be a little bit better line of play. So let's grab Soul Ring. Let's drop in Soul Ring. And then that still keeps us open on thirst for knowledge. And then anything else past the turn over to our opponent. So we're actually in a good spot. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're at 7 total mana. So we can just straight up just hard cast Wurmcoil Engine or Mere Battlesphere and be good to go and skip out on the double effect from our opponent. So that's one of the big things to keep in mind if you're going to build Jin-Gitaxias is your deck needs to be able to generate the mana to cast some of those big... Oh, man, I meant to go for Thirst for Knowledge at the end of the turn. Sorry about that. Double-click the F2 button. Okay, so let's go ahead and push in with the Drake tokens. Yeah, we needed to go for Thirst for Knowledge at the end of the turn, but I was talking about how to make sure you build Jin-Gitaxias, and that was a little bit of a sequencing error, misplay on my part. All right, so we're going to get him for 4, drop him down to 31. And I don't think we're really worried about a board wipe, and even if we do... We can just drop in Mere Battlesphere. Or we can drop... Yeah, let's drop in Wurmcoil. I actually like that. You know what? Let's do this. Let's go Jin-Gitaxias. So took the turn off. Let's get down something a little bit more high impact. So we're going to get down Jin-Gitaxias. They might have spot removal. We'll see. But if this is counter magic, at the very least, we've got Wurmcoil and Mere Battlesphere. All right, Poto's going to go for Counterspell. Okay, so that's going to be Jin-Gitaxias. Return that back to the command zone. And then anything else, pass it over to our opponent. But yeah, that Thirst for Knowledge, that's a bummer. But sometimes when you're recording, delivering gameplay commentary, and trying to make sure you're sequencing stuff, sometimes it overlaps and you miss some different things like that. So unfortunately that happened. But yeah, so our Jin-Gitaxias did get countered. And so that's one of the nice things, that at least we do have the mana available now to just follow it up with Wurmcoil and start to swing in. So I kind of do like that. So we're looking at 9 total for Jin-Gitaxias. We got the Morph token swinging in for 2. It's going to drop us down to 35. And if we can hit the land drop, we can go 6 Wurmcoil and still have mana drain. I think I like that. All right, so we run into Spellskite. Let's push him with the crew. That's going to be 6 coming across. Yeah, we might as well just kind of take this turn off, I think. This will be Thirst and mana drain. So let's go and push him for 8. We're going to drop them down. And then we could drop in Spellskite. I think we've got enough mana to drop in Spellskite. Thirst for Knowledge, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, because it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're looking at 5, yeah, 7 total mana. So we can actually drop in Spellskite. That's going to be 1, 2. And that'll stop the Morph token damage if we need to. It's just sitting at a 0-4. And that'll still keep us open on Thirst and mana drain. All right, so we drop in Spellskite. Anything else? Pass it over to our opponent. But yeah, so we tried to go Jin-Gitaxias. Unfortunately, we got hit with the commander tax on that one. Or it's back to the command zone. And now we'll start to kind of deploy out some of our threats. But yes, like I was saying, if you're going to be building Jin-Gitaxias, one of the main things you need to think about when you're building Jin-Gitaxias is that you're building a mono blue artifact deck that ramps really quick. That's the core foundation of the deck. You know, even if you have all the most wonderful spells in the world that cost a ton of mana, and you're going to copy them with Jin-Gitaxias, you know, you're looking at 7 mana for your commanders. There's going to be a lot of times where, even if you get to 9 mana, you've got Counterspell backup, Morph token, yeah, that's fine. Even if you got Counterspell backup, you're looking at 9 mana for that. So your deck needs to be able to generate some mana. Because, like you said, if we're in a position now where we get sent back to the command zone, we can't really get it down. You need to be able to have some sort of follow-up play. So let's see if this the Morph token is going to swing in or not. All right, so no swing in from our opponent. Let's get the Thirst for Knowledge going. It's going to be 1-2, and that'll be just enough for mana drain. Trying to see whenever we're going to pop this Time Twister. I'd like to have a little bit more mana available before we go for Time Twister. And discard an artifact card. I think we'll just get rid of 2 cards right now. So let's get rid of, we could dump Mere Battlesphere, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, let's do that. Let's dump Mere Battlesphere. I'm okay with that. And that still gives us some sort of threat to deploy out next turn, and that could be Wormcoil Engine. So see what we draw in 2. This could be Preordain. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, and we've got 7 total mana. And we're looking at Wormcoil and Mana Drain backup. If we drop in Ancient Tomb, I think that gives us just enough to toss in a Preordain too. So let's go and drop in Ancient Tomb. Let's go ahead and push in with the crew. Not with Tyrant, but at least we'll push in with our Drake tokens, because that'll be 8. Excuse me, that'll be 3. Back off Spellskite and Tyrant. So swinging in for 6 in the air. That's going to drop them down to 19. And then let's get Wormcoil Engine down. That's going to be 1, 2. Yeah, and that's going to be just enough to where we can set up Preordain and still leave up Mana Drain. So I like that. So we're going to get down Wormcoil Engine. If they've got Counter Magic, we might just leave up Mana Drain. All right, so our opponent did crack, but it looks like they just have that coming to play tap. So we're going to get down Wormcoil Engine. Let's toss in a quick little Preordain, get ourselves another Drake token. That'll at least drop them down to 10 next turn, swinging in the air. So that's going to be Preordain and Chromatic Lantern. I mean, Reality Shift does give us the... But they've got an entire morph deck, so that may actually end up working out for them. I think, yeah, I'm actually okay with putting both on the bottom right now. So we draw into Misty, okay. And then anything else, pass it over to our opponent. So we've still got Mana Drain. We've got 8 Drake power in the air next turn. That's going to drop them down to 10. We do have Wormcoil Engine, so that's going to be a really nice beater for us, being able to swing in. It's going to cancel out the Ancient Tomb activations from us, too. So let's see what they end up going for. It's going to be Birds of Paradise. Okay, we're cool with that. It's going to be a Guardian Project trigger. But yeah, with Time Twister, we haven't gone for it just yet because I'd like to have just a little bit more mana. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I mean, with 6 mana, we can get down one of our bigger threats, but if we can just somehow just string together some mana rocks, the Time Twister could be pretty brutal from our opponent. But we're trying to weigh out just giving them a fresh grip of 7, which might allow them to kind of hit the reset button. So let's see what this is. If this is their commander, potentially, then we've got Mana Drain. That's going to be Death Mist Raptor. Whatever opponent you control is turned face up, you can return it from the battlefield. Yeah, I think we're okay with that. It's just a Death Mist Raptor. Yeah, that's just a 3/3. So yeah, I mean, if they want to end up blocking on Wormcoil Engine, that'll still give us a few extra tokens. And this can be Lightning Greaves on the Death Mist, which we're okay with because we don't have any spot removal. And that'll be 1 mana floating. So we're just really looking at 1 mana up for next turn. And we'll see what we can assemble. So there we go. All right, so see if these morph tokens are going to swing in. But yeah, as far as Kadena with morph creatures, if you're a fan of Sultai or you're a fan of sneaky creatures, morph creatures, man, that is some fun magic. That ability to get down a free first face down creature, that's some good stuff right there. All right, so we run into Tezzeret. Okay, so let's make the land drop for the turn. That's going to be Island. Let's get the Drakes going. That's going to be 8 coming across. Do we push him with Wormcoil? I think we do. I mean, if they want to block with Death Mist, they certainly can. So let's go and push in, because that's going to be 14 damage at least, and that's going to put them all the way down to 3. So let's send the Drakes in. This could be Death Mist Raptor. That still end up giving us 2 tokens on the battlefield, which we're A-okay with. That's going to drop them down to 9, puts us back up to 39. And there's going to be 2 Wormcoil. And so, yeah, let's go and drop in Tezzeret. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then double blue. Okay, yeah, so we drop in Tezzeret. Let's go for the 0 ability, because we definitely have those artifacts online. So let's go and draw a card, and it's going to be 2 cards. And hit a couple more lands, and then anything else. Pass it over to our opponent. So there we go. Pretty good spot. We'll see if our opponent's got any sort of board wipe. Even if they do have a board wipe, it's going to be really hard for them to get those morph tokens in through our Wormcoil Engine tokens, and especially Spellskite. And so even if they do, we still have Tezzeret to back up next turn. And we do have enough mana for Jin-Gitaxias to get that down, so we're actually in a pretty good spot. But yeah, as far as the Jin-Gitaxias deck, this is just mono blue artifact ramp. We're running a, it's not counterspell.deck, but we're running some high impact counterspells in here, stuff like Disallow, Mana Drain, and then just using card advantage to kind of put a little bit of a lock on the game and hit that counter magic. So as far as some of our payoff spells, there is... All right, so let's see what's going on. Whenever it's turn face up, you may exchange control of target creature you control and target creature an opponent controls. Okay. And I think we can target Spellskite with that. I think. We're going to try. We could be wrong on this one. I think that's correct. That might be work. This should be an ability. Yes. So that may not be correct if we went for that Spellskite activation. We'll see. It's been a while since I played with Spellskite, and I don't know exactly how that interacts. So that's going to be a Guardian Project trigger, because they can grab Tyrant. Let's see if that works that way. Excuse me, never mind, they got it. So I must target her ability. Yeah, that just may be I don't know how that actually works, but anyway, we went for it anyway. Tried to see if it can work. The big thing to keep in mind is that they're down to 2 mana. They can stop one of our Drake tokens. We've still got Memory Deluge to go for, and that'll generate an extra token for us. And so we'll try to get that moving for next turn. This is going to be Lightning Greaves on the Talrand. But if they don't have an instant or sorcery, they're not going to be able to get an extra Drake token out there. So hopefully we can get it down pretty low. I mean, because let's see, we got the entire crew in. That's going to be Worm Token. That's going to see some blocks. We got the Drake tokens. And then we got Chrome Shell Crab. Because we've got at least 3 on the ground, which is going to be 3 of those creatures. Yeah, we'll be able to make a pretty good trade with our opponent if we just swing in with the entire crew for next turn. And especially, we'll see if they have anything else. We'll go for Memory Deluge to see if we can draw into something else. But if not, then we should be able to at least get them down pretty low. So let's go for Memory Deluge. And I guess technically we could have Memory Deluge in response to that Chrome Shell Crab trigger. But never knew what they were going to have. They're going to have something else on the back end. So Memory Deluge, just anticipate. And I guess if we want to dig a little bit deeper, look at the top 4 cards with anticipate, top 4 cards with Supreme Will, and then anticipate, let's look at the top 3 cards. Yeah, we'll just go and grab anticipate because that's just one less. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, we'll actually grab both. And then the rest go on the bottom. Yeah, we get to grab 2, so never mind. We do get both of those. And let's see what we rip into for the turn. And that's going to be an island. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's drop in Misty. Let's go and crack Misty. Let's go and grab ourselves an island onto the battlefield. Let's go for the 0 ability from Tezzeret, because we're going to try to draw some stuff, because we might be able to Lightning Greaves into this. All right. And that's going to be just 2 total mana for Thought Monitor. I kind of like that. And that's going to be an infinite. So we're looking at 1, 2, we've got 8, 9, 10, 11. So that gives us 2 mana for Jin-Gitaxias, which would be a copy of Thought Monitor, but that cuts us off mana drain protection. So I think at this point we just swing in. I kind of like that. Now, let's go and push in with the entire crew. We're going to have everybody swing in except for Spellskite. Have Spellskite back up. And that is lethal right there. So we'll see what else they can assemble. They're going to have to offer up some blocks, and especially on the ground, we're going to be able to make some trades. Now that Death Mist Raptor is going to grab one of our tokens. Death Touch is definitely going to take something down. But we've got 8 in the air, and so we'll see how they want to divvy these blocks up. Okay, so we're going to get in for 6. It's going to drop them down to 3. We're going to wipe their entire board state, and then we're going to go to our second main. I think at this point, we just leave up as much mana as possible. We got Mana Drain, we got Supreme Will, we got Anticipate into another counter magic. Yeah, I think that's what we end up doing. We could drop in Thought Monitor for 2, and that'll be some extra card advantage, and that'd be one of the cheapest ways to go for that. Yeah, let's go and drop that in. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I kind of like that, because that gives us access to... Yeah, let's go and drop it. So we'll drop in Thought Monitor. We're going to draw 2 cards. And then Evacuation and Everflowing Chalice. Okay, anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn over to our opponent. So we still have Memory Deluge out of the graveyard, if we want to end up going for that. We've got Mana Drain on whatever sort of threat they have for this turn, whether it's Cyclonic Rift, Board Wipe, whatever that may be. All right, opponent's going to scoop it up on that one, so we're going to get it. Good game to our opponent. We were able to knock Kadena out pretty quick, and just goes to show you that this deck can be very powerful. Kadena deck can, but when you take away that free 3 mana morph creature, it's really hard to get stuff going when you're paying 3 mana per turn to get a creature down. So We tried to get down Jin-Gitaxias, but the way this deck is built, if we get it down, awesome. If not, then it's set up to still deploy the stuff out. But you can see with that last affinity creature, having Jin-Gitaxias to be able to, set it up to where we get down Jin-Gitaxias, then we only need 2 mana to get down this payoff spell, that we get an extra copy of it. That's the kind of stuff that we're looking to do. And of course, getting something like Mnemonic Deluge with Jin-Gitaxias is always a lot of fun. That's one of our payoff spells. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, hey, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.